Today we're going to talk about the top 10 red flags that you're being gaslighted. Let's get started, shall we? If you've ever had a friend or a family member or a coworker who is a narcissist or who suffers from NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, then chances are that you've been the victim of gaslighting. Am I right? In case you're not sure what it is, gaslighting is a manipulation technique that narcissists will use to get what they want from supply or victims. It's like this. They engage in gaslighting in order to create a reaction. Whether it's anger, frustration, sadness, they're trying to get a reaction out of you, the person they're dealing with. When that person reacts, when you react, the narcissist wants you to feel uncomfortable, so they will do that. They want you to feel insecure. They make that happen by acting like your feelings aren't normal and aren't rational. I hear this from my clients all the time. I just spoke to a client today who she's doing so great with her recovery, but she still has those moments of, am I right? She doubts herself, and we all do it. We all have the ability to doubt ourselves. So the best thing that you can do is change your mind. Gaslighters make you feel crazy because they act like your reaction to their abuse is not rational. Sure, the signs you've been gaslighted, they might seem obvious to some people, but the fact is that while you're being manipulated by a narcissist, you can't always see the proverbial forest for the trees, my friend. It is what it is, because when you're in it, it's hard to see exactly what's happening. 6 months from now, if you left your narcissist today, you could turn around and look back and go, oh yeah. If you find yourself feeling like you might be a little crazy, which is part of the whole gaslighting thing, or even if you're aware that it's happening and you want to recognize it while it's happening, because in my opinion, that'll help you cope with it better. It has worked for me in the past. Understanding the signs are just the first step to making your life a little better. Discovering what you're dealing with. Obviously, knowing the signs to gaslighting, it's going to make your life better. When you're aware of the behaviors that cause the narcissist to engage in gaslighting, you can react differently and change the course of the outcome. What are the signs that you're being gaslighted? I'm going to share 10 of them with you, the top 10. First of all, your fears are used against you. That's number one. Many narcissists are very charming, as we all know. Not all of them are. We've got our covert narcissists and stuff like this, but most of them are quite charming in their own way, at least when they want to be. Now, a lot of times they'll listen to every word you say, and they'll file away those vulnerabilities that you share with them for later use against you. For example, if you said to a narcissist, you know what, I feel a little bit insecure, I'm a little bit overweight, or whatever. Or even if you're not overweight, I feel insecure about my weight. The narcissist will later make discreet pokes at your weight, discreet at first. If you're in a romantic relationship with that person, they might even go ahead and make comments about other people who, in their opinion or yours, look better than you. So if you think you're too fat, they might look at thinner women. If you think you're too thin, they might look at thicker women. You feel me? Because everybody has a different thing they're into. Inevitably, if you've complained about your weight to the narcissist, whatever you are is the thing. They'll be looking at the opposite just to make you feel insecure about yourself. Your fears are used against you in gaslighting. That's the number one sign. Remember, the narcissist has an ultimate goal, and that is to make you doubt yourself, because that makes you more dependent on him or her. Number two, you don't know your own mind. What do I mean by that? Some narcissists will claim to know what you're thinking or what other people are thinking. And if you deny that you think what they think you think, they might just think you're lying and tell you so to your face. They might just make a little face or gesture, oh yeah, right, whatever, to indicate it. Or in the most extreme cases of NPD, they might actually tell you that you're lying and accuse you of lying to yourself. And no, I am not playing games. Y'all know it's true. Because of course, as narcissists, they can't be wrong even about what the private thoughts inside your own head are. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Number three, you don't know what's normal. If you are regularly being told that things are normal when deep down inside of yourself you know that they're not, you're likely the victim of gaslighting, my friend. For example, let's say your toxic boss says, hey, can you lie to this client about the safety of this item that you're about to sell them? And you go, no, that's not ethical. When you refuse, the boss might go, dude, lady, all employees lie on behalf of their employers, and if you don't want to be a team player, well, maybe you should find another position. The same could go in a marriage. If a husband and a narcissistic wife, let's say, well, the narcissistic wife might say, hey, can you lie to our children and tell them that I spent their dinner money on something else instead of gambling? And the husband might say, no, tell them the truth. Wife, might say, why won't you lie for your wife? All husbands lie for their wife. When you don't do what they expect you to do, go against your confidence by saying things like, everybody else will do it, so why won't you? Next up, You're diagnosed with major issues, not by a doctor, by the narcissist. So when a narcissist is lying or manipulating a friend, a coworker, a loved one, whatever, and doesn't get their way, well, the narcissist may just turn up the intensity by questioning the person's sanity, their entire self. You might be called paranoid, you might be called stressed out, you might be called too sensitive or hormonal. Narcissists might even tell you that you need therapy or meds to get through it. Again, it's all about being in control. It's not about anything else. It's about the narcissist being in control. The narcissist does not care that it hurts you. The narcissist actually is kind of amused by that sometimes. It's all about control. They will do anything to stay in control, even at the expense of people they claim to love. They will go so far as to not even know their own child. That's how far they will go in order to get what they want. You feel me? Next up, you doubt your own beliefs and perceptions. You're told often by the narcissist that what you know is true isn't. So for example, if your narcissistic mother would tell you that your significant other is a big fat loser and you need to dump him after a while, or her, after a while, you might start to believe it, and you might even end up sabotaging your relationship with that person because you question your own judgment. Thanks to, of course, regular conditioning from childhood and then during visits, phone calls, and emails with your mother. You have to learn to trust yourself again. Along the same line, and this is another sign of PTSD or CPTSD, you can't remember anything anymore. So the narcissist, as we all know, is infamous for their selective memory, right? They will deny that they've said something that upset you, especially if you say, hey, you really upset me. Even if you directly confront them, they will deny it. In fact, sometimes they might say to you, you're a big old piece of crap. And you turn around and look at them and say, did you really just say I'm a big old piece of crap? And they would say, no, I didn't say that. That's not what I said. And even if you had them on a recording saying it, they would say, well, I didn't mean it like that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the point is they deny their bad behaviors. And sometimes they'll promise, okay, I'll do something different. And they don't. Maybe they acknowledge it. They say, okay, yeah, I did. I shouldn't have said that. But then later they might deny it again, or deny it later while having admitted it during. A narcissist might also use creative language to downplay his behavior and act as though your reaction is totally out of line. Like I said, they'll act like your reaction to their abuse isn't normal or rational, but it is. See, that's the thing. You're not crazy. Next up, you lie to keep the peace. You aren't a liar by nature, and you don't lie to other people in your life. Not about anything major anyway, but due to extreme stress that has been upsetting you and angering the narcissist or whatever, the stress that has come into your life because the narcissist is so easily angered and upset by everything. You might find yourself lying. You might find yourself at least bending the truth with the narcissist in order to avoid the verbal and the physical abuse that is sure to follow any discussion and or situation that the narcissist deems unacceptable or against his or her rules. You feel me? Next up, you stop trying to be heard. That's a big, big red flag. As humans, we are programmed to share our experiences and our thoughts with the people in our lives. When you're dealing with a narcissist and there are signs that you're being gaslighted, well, you eventually might just give up. You stop talking about yourself around the narcissist, and depending on the depth of your relationship with him or her, you might even stop talking about yourself altogether. It's terrible, and you shouldn't allow this to continue if you're here now. The reason is because one day when you're out in the world, someone might ask you a question about yourself and you're stumped. You don't even know how to talk about yourself anymore, and you wouldn't even want to because you're so insecure because of what the narcissist has put you through. You deserve better, my friend. Next up, you start thinking maybe you really are the crazy one. That's another red flag. The intensity of a narcissist's manipulation tactics can really get to a person. And when you are looking for a solution, as in a way to just end the disagreement or the argument in the moment, you might just convince yourself, you know what, maybe the narcissist is right. Maybe there are things I could be doing better. Maybe his or her behavior was a logical reaction to my mistakes. No, they weren't. Maybe you start to believe that you're the one who owes the narcissist an apology. And when you do apologize, the narcissist will probably eventually accept your apology, but only later he or she will throw that bad behavior that you just apologized for that you didn't really commit back in your face. When it serves him or her, of course. Next up, you're depressed. As the narcissist wears down a victim, he or she may become incredibly depressed and anxious. You'll constantly question yourself, and you'll feel pretty hopeless. If you're in this situation, you might feel exhausted from the roller coaster ride that your narcissist has just taken you on. You might even think that you're a little bit oversensitive thanks to the NPD manipulation tactics that you're being subjected to. So you get confused, you start to feel disoriented, and thanks to all those references to your paranoia and memory issues, you're likely to seek help for depression rather than the actual problem, which of course is the gaslighting narcissist in your life. Even the so-called normal relationships in our lives can suffer from misunderstandings and miscommunications, but when someone starts using the manipulation tactics involved in gaslighting, chances are they might also be a narcissist. If you're going to maintain a sense of self, you've got to start making some changes in your life. Let's just get ready to wrap it up. Do you recognize any of the signs that I shared with you today as signs of gaslighting as part of your reality? And if you do you think you might be the victim of a narcissist or a victim of gaslighting? How would you tell a friend to handle a toxic relationship that involves gaslighting? And how are you handling it, or how did you handle it? Can you please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below? Because you never know, something you say could really help to change someone's life, and that's what this is all about for all of us. As always, thank you for letting me be a part of your day and a part of your life, and thanks for being a part of mine. It really means a lot. Now listen, if you want to know more about narcissistic abuse recovery, visit queenbeing.com. Tons of free articles, downloads, all kinds of good stuff, videos, etc. Subscribe to this channel. I talk about narcissism and recovery and positive good things, usually every single day. And check out booksangiewrote.com. Those are my books. Visit narcissisticabuserecovery.online to check out my appointment system and schedule an appointment with me. Look forward to talking to you or see you again soon. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. It's my mission to teach others what I know to be true. You really can create the life you want. Take care of your body, take care of your soul, nurture the real you, and introduce him or her to the world. Be comfortable in your own skin and in your place in this world. Take your spot, take it now, and the universe will take its cue from you. You feel me? If so, subscribe to my channel. Let's get it done together.